That's what we've been waiting for, baby. It's the 8th of April, and basically we've got to get our bushes fixed. I've got the fire going behind me. I've got to press out these steel bushes for the back leaf springs. We've got all the parts, so I've got to get these bushes in tonight and these springs in tonight. I'll do all that. I'm just going to work hard on the van, get this bitch going, and we're getting the fuck out of here, because she could be a big night on the old van the next couple of nights, and get these things done. This would be an easy job if I had a press and press them out, but I don't, so I've got to use hammers and vices and shit, and they've probably been in there for fucking, 40 odd years, so getting them out is going to be a bit of a mission, but I'm heating them up in the fire. Hopefully that'll slowly melt the rubber, and then I'll be able to punch the centers out, and then maybe I'll be able to chisel the inside one out, and then I'll sand up, clean it all up, and try and press fit the other ones in the vise somehow. See how it goes, eh? Alright, I managed to get one out. Now it's time to do this one. It's working. It's working. Alright, it's working. Now we move to the vise and try and get the rest of that there. Baby! I've got the bushes out, so to install these ones, I'm going to put them in the freezer to try and contract the sleeve, the metal. And I'm going to heat the housings up, and hopefully they'll slot in, and then they'll shrink together and expand together. So my good mate Twinkie, Ben Orchard's let me know this trick, so we're going to try it out. I'm going to chuck them in here for all in, but there was a bit of a swearing going on. Thanks to Laura, she helped. Oh, and I will note that the spring is actually full in force now. It's been pretty bloody cold, but it's starting to get slightly warmer. I'm still wearing my bloody bum gloves and my hat and shit, but I have got the shorts on now. And the birds are coming out. We've seen hummingbirds, and we've even seen our first woodpecker yesterday. We've been hearing them. We know what the sound is now, but I'll try and catch one of them on film if I can later. So yeah, things are coming out. So the weather's getting better. In today's mission, we are cleaning out, actually we're bulldozing, demolishing this shitty chicken shed. Here's little Laura. And we've got to move this water tank, so it's too heavy for one man or two man or three man. So I just drilled some holes in the bottom of that bitch and yeah, wait for it to drain out. It's fully rotten because nothing gets looked after here.
No, and in the ongoing saga of Jane, the SPCA's come around and condemned this chicken house.
I've never heard of a chicken shed getting condemned, but there's a first for everything.
Must have been pretty bad.
But it wasn't her who built it, it was someone else, I think, so it's pretty rough. Everything that gets done here is very rough. The start of our journey, pulling down a chicken shed. Let's get this van finished though.
Fucking grim.
Laura, what?
room, there's spiders and shit everywhere.
Well, no shit, it's a chicken shit. So I'll do this for a few hours every morning for the next couple of days, and then I'm gonna work on the van. And the front springs are gonna be a bitch. I'm worried about them. The rear ones, I'm putting them back together, brakes and that stuff this afternoon. Get the back wheels on, do the diff, maybe grease the drive shaft while I'm doing the back of it, and then that's the back and the rear done. And then I'm gonna try and start the front, but I've only got a bottle jack, and if you're doing front coil springs the way these ones are set up, you can't really use spring compressors where they are, so you've got to put a trolley jack in under the bottom lower ball joint that's hooked to the hub, under the ball joint, try and take the weight with the trolley jack, and then take the nut fully off and then lower it right down, and the spring should just sort of, you know, retract, and hopefully it pops out. And you want to have the vehicle jacked up nice and high, but because I don't have a trolley jack, I've only got a bottle jack, it won't really work. I'll show you and explain why later, but you need the trolley jack for the wheels, because when it comes down, it doesn't come down in one spot. It comes, let's say the top of the hammer is the ball joint and the end of the hammer is the pivot. It's going to come down like that, so you want to put your trolley jack under the hammer and it's going to come down like that. But if you've only got a bottle jack, it's going to come, it's vertical. We need it to be coming down on a sort of an arc, but I don't have one. So fuck. The only other way I can do it is I jack the front up real high, because I get the trolley. Yeah, I'll show you when I get there. But I'm making a sourdough bread today. We got a starter given to us, sourdough starter. So you'll see plenty more of that when we actually get into the van and have some time to relax and actually get shit done. Like, we'll just start living in the van. We haven't really experienced it yet. The only time I spent in the van was minus fucking 20 and both our tyres were blown out the back. Like, it was all right. I'm trying to fix the exhaust manifold as well, so there's just a few little things to do on the van. Yeah, they'll add up, but we're getting there. Finished product of the first attempt at our sourdough from our sourdough starter that we got given. And we made a little one. And here's a big one that looks pretty good. What'd you say?
Pretty darn good.
Pretty darn good. What are you doing, honey?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Doing this.
Scraping.
Not damaging the spleen.
Spline. The spline's at that end. Yeah, she's scraping off the old silicone before we put the axle back in. Now I've adjusted the brake up. Oh, that's about where I want it. Just got a wee bit of scrapage, but not much. So that'll do me. Right, second part, the rear springs are on, and now we're doing the front spring, and I've sort of got this one out. They're not easy, and as you can see, I've got jacks and blocks of wood, and I'm using these little trolley jacks, so really easy if you've got the right tools, but when you don't have the right tools, a bit of a bitch. So I managed to get the heavy duty ones, so they're going to be even harder to put in, so see how we go. Whew. I'll tell you what, she's pretty bloody hard work here when you're working in the wee workshop with limited tools, but I'll tell you what, it's really fucking fun. Quite satisfying actually, and yeah, it's pretty nice when you're just chilling by yourself. Got my fairy lights up. Springs are coming together. And while we're in the front, we're going to do the front brake pads and re-grease the wheel bearings. So we've re-greased the rear wheel bearings. I've noticed the top ball joints are fucked, but maybe I'll do them when I get to America, or if I'm fucking held up somewhere for a couple of weeks, I might pull it apart and do the the ball joints. Do the ball joints then. But yeah, for now, it's about getting on the road and getting the fuck out of here. So we are on the final corner. We've got the shock to install in here. As you can see, we've got the old one there, so that's going to come out very shortly. We are putting on some new brake pads right here, so it's all looking good. Now I've decided that here's the heavy duty new springs I've got, And here's the other side that I've already done. See, I've put the shock in, I put the old spring back in. I just, I can't get the springs in without spring compressors or something, I don't know. They're heavy duty and they're a bit big and there's no way I can compress them. It's way too dodgy and I can't compress them anyway, So we're thinking, actually, where we got them from is on Vancouver Island. We're going to be travelling that way, so in maybe a month and a half we might be going past the workshop where I bought them, so and hopefully we'll be able to swing in there. They might be able to fit them one afternoon for us, so ooh, that's where we're at with that one. So I'm going to put the saying so a lot, must admit, chuck the brake pads in, shock absorber in. I'm going to repack the wheel bearing while I can, and put this wheel back on, put these wheels back on, put the exhaust manifold back on, and we are hopefully running. Hopefully, con suerte. Got it back out, we've warmed it up. The leak appears to be fixed, but how long it will last, we don't know. Heated it up, well, had started it up, put the water back in, checked the exhaust manifold. Haven't really checked the brakes or suspension, can't really do much about that until we get on the road. And like I said before, we're living on this hill that's steep as hell and I just don't want to road test it, so I'm just leaving. When we leave, we're leaving. That's the road test, so hopefully it fucking works. Check the brakes, there might be a wee bit of air in them, so I might have to do that on the road. The diff, I'm thinking I'm just going to do that on the road unless I do it tonight, can't be bothered. That's changed the oil. So we had to put water back into the cooling system, so we heat it right up to temperature, put the cap on, we'll let it cool down, and then we'll check it in a couple of hours time and see if it's sucked a bit of water back through. And the thermostat opens, and hopefully put a bit more water in, put the carburetor all back together, and air filter back on, and yeah, should be good. But now we've got to fit the safe in the bike rack. I think the bike rack's the most important thing at the moment because we need that to hold our bikes. And I'm trying to make a battery clamp here as well. So Laura's working on our, so this is our shit pipe. This is what we're going to plug into our shitter. Oh yes, lovely. I'll let you work that one out, girl. Grab a couple of things for you to show you. Luckily we've already got this sort of tow hitch sort of set up. Now we need to mount, this is the bike rack, we need to mount it up. So what I'm thinking, we don't have a welder, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put them brackets here like that, let me get out of the way. I'm going to get this bit of metal, put that across there like that, the other bracket there, drill a hole in there, and then a big bolt holding it in. So that's going to probably be up here somewhere. And I don't have any bolts, but I've got the old U-bolts that I took out of the leaf spring, so I'm going to cut them off and turn them into bolts. Beauty! We're actually going to empty our shitter for the first time. We don't know what's ever been in there or what's in there. We know there's urine in there, that's for damn certain. Could we be pissing in there?
Do you have to video
Alright, hook it on.
That part's your job. So we've got one bucket and then a backup bucket and then lots of water.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You need to put that bucket down there because shit don't flow uphill. Phil Bray will tell you that one for free. Hey Philly. Alright, let me just put the hole in this. There's a quarter game. Alright, can you even see what I'm up to here? Hooking on, baby. Does it fit? Oh, hold up. Oh, there we go. All right. And then you pull that.
Can you bring that? Oh god, there's gonna be lots, there's gonna be lots.
Well, quick, just don't freak out. Just put it on the next one. Oh! Right, put it in the next one. Alright, I'm going to put water down through it, okay? Here we go, the heavy duty bike rack. Well, it's it's over-engineered, that's for sure. Could make this a hell of a lot lighter. And we could just buy a $30 bike rack, to be honest. But we're going with this heavy duty option. So yeah, I'll see how it all ends out. I'll probably end up just swapping it for a $30 towable mount one later on. But even if we get sick of it, we might be able to use these brackets for a bit of fabrication later on. Who knows? Who knows? One hole to go. Good morning. We have the bike rack finished. I'm just bolting it up. Come on in. Oh. And up. Made from scrap steel. It's a bit overkill in my opinion, but oh, pretty solid. Pretty solid. Twist a wee bit. So yeah. What do you reckon?
Cool. Let's get the bikes on.
Alright. Something like that. In here at Bowen, and Laura's having a bit of a clean up in the workshop. The van is pretty much back together, but we had a major drama today, and we may have to fix it on the road. Here is our water heater, and I've got some photos, but there was a massive crack in it as soon as I turned on the water, and it pressurised. There was water spurting out here and out the side of the van. So we've got a bit of water problems, and she's had a few leaks, I think. She's been leaking. All these boards are rotting under here. But that's alright, we'll fix that up one day on the road. So we put our putty stuff on, try and fix it. We'll probably have to get it welded at some stage, but yeah, maybe that'll work. I don't know. Anyway, I might be leaving in 2 days' time, so it's kind of a farewell. Yeah, it's been good though. It's been real good. We update on the plants that we planted. Something actually has grown. Some leeks in there.
Oh yeah, pumpkin.
Broccoli. Cabbage. Yeah, no, they're all grown. Pumpkins.
Broad bean.
Broad beans.
Snake gourd.
Something grown in that one down there. We planted that one.
I think I lost some of these. This one.
Yeah.
It is a marmalade.
What's that? Mixed salad. You got mixed salad there?
Celery. No,
Salad. Yeah, it's growing.
And that's marmalade.
Marmalade.
Yeah. The real orange.
Well, it was our last day on Bowen, and so much for a little fire. Things got a little bit out of hand, eh, Laura? Went to have lunch, and oh, Jesus. We kind of came back from lunch, and this was actually raging, a bit out of control really. There was a bit of flammable objects in there, and now we're slowly just putting it out. Because we don't want to catch the forest on fire. It's pretty green, but the undergrowth is pretty dry, and it was actually starting to burn away until we chopped the tree down. Whoopsie daisy. Kind of my fault really. Don't leave your fires unattended. Tip number 42, okay? Do not leave them unattended.